Okay. So we've been kind of working through my little book, and we're on rule number 5. And I told you that there's a lot of rules about lessons. And this one's kind of moved on, but not really. It says learning does not end. So rule number 5 is learning does not end. Does it ever seem like just when you mastered one lesson, another challenge presents itself almost immediately? Just when you get what it means to possess self-esteem, you're faced with a lesson in humility. As soon as you get what it means to be a good parent, your children leave home and you need to learn the lesson of letting go. You figure out one day the importance of having time to yourself, and the next day you're called to support someone else. Striving to get all the details of life under control is impossible because life will present new lessons daily. You never actually finish all your lessons. For as long as you are alive, there are lessons to learn. Regardless of your age or station in life or success level, you will never be exempt from the lessons you need to learn in order to continue growing. Your journey on earth is constantly unfolding, and while your wisdom grows and your capacity to deal with challenges expands, new lessons will present themselves. In fact, as the depth of your wisdom increases, your capacities expand proportionately, allowing you to take on and solve with greater ease more advanced challenges. So, all you wise women here. The challenge of Rule 5 is to embrace your role as a perpetual student of life. This means giving in to the idea that you actually don't know everything that you need to, and you probably never will. It also means that you need to convince your ego that being a student does not make you inferior. In fact, being a student opens up worlds of possibilities that are invisible to those who are unwilling to accept this role. So we're in a permanent role of student, which I really think if we embrace that, that actually makes living more fun. Because if you look at things from the perspective of, you think a child learning, and they're always, going, wow, that's so cool, because it's like the first time they've seen it. If we can do that with things that show up in our life, maybe you've seen it before, maybe not. But if you look at it like it is the first time, it makes it more fun. So please close your eyes. And just focus on your breath. So much to be learned from your breath and from your physical body. And as you breathe, try to add a pause at the end of your inhalation, and then a pause at the end of the exhalation before you inhale again. And perhaps even try to lengthen out all parts of that breath. So the inhale, the pause, the exhale, the pause. Please bring hands to heart center and allow your breath just to go back to its normal cadence. May we all learn to embrace our role as perpetual students in this game of life. As long as we're alive, we have lessons to learn, things to notice. May we especially notice the blessings and grace that are bestowed upon us on this beautiful day. Please lower your hands, open your eyes. So we're working on core today. So I want you to notice as you're seated, you can lengthen your spine a little more and maybe even lengthen the sides of your body. And draw the rib cage back. And, oh, hi, Julie. And move the head of the arm bones back. And then just bring your arms up to the side with the palms facing back. And then bend the elbows and kind of reach either wrists, forearms, or elbows. To feel a really nice shoulder stretch, but with an engaged core. You guys all look so tall. How are you, Julie? Glad you made it. And then just kind of arc to each side a little bit. Feel the opposite shoulder kind of stretch more. Maybe keep that really long spine. Good. And then reach behind you, undo and interlace your hands and see if you can still keep that connected core. And then bring your hands and knuckles to the right waist. Feel it in your left shoulder more. And then right ear towards the right shoulder. Kind of adds a little bit more stretch there. If your hands don't reach all the way to the side, that's okay. Connected core. Good. And then stretch the arms back. Just check and see, do I still have everything connected? And then bring the hands to the other side. And then left ear towards left shoulder. You made it down, didn't you? She hasn't lost any weight. Stretch your knuckles back and stretch your arms up and hook your thumbs. And I want you to think, okay, I want that connected core, but I'm also going to draw the pelvic floor up and up and up and up and lengthen up. And then release. And go ahead and transition to your back now. We're going to, as I promised, core. So have a block handy so that you can get it when I tell you to. First, just lay on your back. And I want you to set up for abdominal bracing. So you notice that there's a curve in your low back. You can feel the glutes and probably your tailbone kind of grounded. You can even accentuate that curve if you want to. You don't have to. And then I want you to think, okay, I'm going to draw the rib cage back. I'm not taking away the curve. I'm just engaging the core up and down. Maybe shoulders on the back or flat. Lengthen the back of the neck. Lengthen through the top of the head. Notice how your feet and legs activate when you're trying to do all that. Good, now lift the feet up, shins parallel to the floor. Check and see if you lost any of that work. Flex your feet, hands to the thighs. and press up and away. So that way and up a little bit. And resist. Now, don't do it so hard that you can't continue to breathe. I just want you to feel work in your core and a lengthening happening. You don't even have to use your hands to feel that work. It's a reminder when you do have the hands there. 2 more breaths. Good, and then relax, hug your knees in towards your chest. And just kind of roll side to side, calming. And then bring your feet flat again, because we're going to set up just the way we did before. Artie's making the rounds. Checks in with everybody. Okay, she's a therapy cat. So check your core, find the curve, engage the rib cage back, lengthen, lift the feet, hands to the thighs, press away and up a little bit. And now I'm going to add a little something. So bring both hands to the right thigh and extend the left leg at an angle long, but try and maintain that connection. One more breath there. Then the left knee, bring both hands to the left thigh, then the right leg. Can you still feel the work going on? Can you still feel a lengthening? Good, bend the right knee, bring the right hand to the thigh, left hand to the thigh. 2 more breaths there. And relax, hug your knees in towards your chest. Oh. You can rock a little bit. And then grab your block and bring it between your thighs. And I like to cross my ankles. You don't have to. So you cross your right ankle over your left if you want to do that. And then see if you can squeeze the block. I have bow legs, so this helps me. And again, set up your core. You start that way. And then, of course, you're going to probably end up with your low back pressed down. So extend your arms up, squeeze the block, think really long spine. Lift your head, lift your shoulders, reach for your feet, squeeze the block. Maybe even lift the tail a little bit. One more breath. And relax. You can bend your knees. Just stop squeezing for a moment. I know it's a lot of effort. What I want you to think is long spine first, and then you can round everything with that long engaged spine. So bring the block back between the thighs. Go the opposite way. So left ankle over right now. Think I'm setting up my spine just the way I have been. Reach your arms up. Lift your head. Lift your shoulders. And maybe lift your tail and squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Breathe. And relax down. Okay, move the block to your knees and come up on your hands. So the block's between your knees. I want you to keep your feet grounded down. That's going to be the most important thing. So set up your spine just like you've been doing. So feel the sit bones in this position, grounded down. You can accentuate the curve and then engage the core, take it away, and then grab behind your knees and lean back and keep that. So squeeze the block, keep the feet grounded, think core, and maybe extend your arms. Squeeze the block, feet grounded, long spine, really engage core. Lean back a little bit more. Squeeze the block. Good. Touch your hands down. Relax for a moment. You can let go of the squeeze. So I'm trying, by squeezing the block, so a lot of times your hip flexors get really grabby. If you squeeze the block, it kind of moves it up into your core. So that's what I'm trying to do. Artie's moved on to the allergic one. Okay, let's try it again. Come here, Artie. Come here. All right, feet grounded. Feel that. Squeeze the block. Hands behind the knees. Lean back. Feel that really engaged core. And then this time, reach up, bend the elbows, and maybe just move the elbow or the hands up and down to keep thinking. All around the core, staying connected. Squeeze the block, ground the feet, lengthen up through the top of the head, long back of the neck. Good, and relax. Are you feeling it? Okay, good. That's what we're trying for. You need this work too, baby. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Okay, one more time. Ground the feet. Squeeze the block. Hands behind the knees. Lean back. And bring your arms all the way up. Think long side body. Rib cage back. Shoulders on the back. Lean back a little bit more if you can. And touch down. Whew. Remove the block. Come to all fours position. And just move through some cow cat. And go slow. You'll feel that some of those ab muscles might have tightened up a bit. So you're just stretching them back out. Oh. No, she's underneath, Connie. Oh, good. And then pause, bring your hands forward, one hand with it, and lift to down dog. And just take a moment to feel your core here. Can you set your core up the same as you did when you were on your back? So sit bones are back, so you have the curve, and then you draw the rib cage back, armpits lift, lengthen through the top of your head, feel all parts of your hands grounded. Good, and now come forward to plank like that, and lower to the mat. Did you get out of the way? Good. Good. Stretch your feet long, stretch your arms long, forehead down, and set up your spine again. So I like to think I keep the curve. I draw the rib cage back. I lift the arms. I lift the head. I lift the shoulders. And then if you want to, you can add the feet as well, Shalabhasana. It should feel like a lengthening. So you know the core is all sides, not just your abs, right? Good, relax, hands on your forehead. So this one works the back a little more, but you're still working your abs because you're drawing that rib cage back. Working the sides of your body. The core is all around. It's like a cylindrical vessel of muscles. Now bring your arms to cactus. Forehead down again. Lift the fingertips. Long side body. Keep the curve. Draw the rib cage back and the shoulders back. Lift your head. Lift your shoulders and see, can I feel super long? And then maybe I can lift the hands and the feet like this. Feeling super long, connected. 2 more breaths, you can do it. And lower down. Hands under forehead. You can think of the poses as learning experiences, you know. You've all done some of these a lot of times. But if you just notice and pretend like it's the first time you've done it, sometimes you notice things that you've never noticed before. Now we're going to Superwoman pose. Stretch your arms straight in front of you. Come up on fingertips. Forehead down. Set up. Rib cage back. Shoulders back. Lift head. Lengthen. Lift feet. Pretend like you're flying through the clouds. Superwoman. You know when you need to come down, you can. Lengthen through the top of the head, lengthen through the toes. Good, and relax down. Try and bring your hands by your chest and push all the way back to a child's pose. It feels like a good change. More rounded position. And then come on up to all fours. You just want to loosen up your wrists a little bit. So make sure that your wrists are at least as wide as your shoulders. And then turn your fingertips out to the side. So your thumbs are forward, good. And then maybe just rock side to side a little bit, kind of feeling the finger mounds and the fingertips grounded down. You'll feel a stretch in the wrist. Good. If you want more, you can turn the fingers towards you so the thumbs are pointed out. And then maybe rock forward and back a little bit, just loosening up the wrist even more. Good. And then turn the fingers forward again. Find your blocks and bring them underneath your hands. And make sure, again, that they're at least shoulder width, because we might step through it eventually. And then I want you to set up your core just like you've been doing. So you think, okay, I have the sit bones back. I'm kind of trying to separate them. I'm drawing the rib cage back. I'm drawing the shoulders back. I'm broadening the clavicle. lengthening through the top of the head, and then extend the right leg. Try and maintain that. So I always feel like I'm drawing my low belly up, but that doesn't take away the curve. It just kind of strengthens the rib cage back, and then just kind of pulse your leg up and down. Wake up those glutes, hamstrings, along with the core. Now bend the knee, bring the knee towards your right elbow. Don't change anything else. And then step it to the outside of the block. And just kind of like, oh, okay, there's that blanket. This is one of your only hip stretches, so feel that. But I want you to engage the core first and always start with that. Keep that. Maybe you can lower down to your elbows or even to the floor if you want. I think I can still try and maintain sits bones back and apart. I'll feel my heel and my knee kind of hugging towards each other. I feel the sits bones or the rib cage drawing back and myself lengthening through the top of the head. Maybe you can broaden the knee to the right a little bit. Kneecap and toes point the same direction. Humble pose. Hips stay square. Couple breaths. And then come on back up to your hands. Swing that knee around. And set up your core for the other side. I always have to remind myself. And then extend the left leg when you're ready. And you can start moving the leg up and down. You can maintain everything else. I think broaden the clavicle. I always try and feel some compression there. And then if I do that, it feels way better in my shoulder girdle. It's okay if you round the upper back a little bit. That's okay. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knee. Bring the knee towards the left elbow. And then step it to the outside. Humble pose on the second side with that core engagement. You can lower down if it feels nice. Broaden the knee a little bit. Hug to the midline. You settled in for a nap on your blanket. Oh, good. If you're constantly trying to feel connected in the core, it always feels better in your limbs. Come back up to your hands. Swing that knee back. And just walk your knees back a little bit because I'm widen the blocks a little bit and come up to a down dog on the blocks. And then step your feet up in between the blocks, hip width, and bring your blocks in front of you on the highest height. And I'm going to have you start with bent knees. I think sits bones back and apart, so I have that curve, and then I'm drawing the rib cage back, long back of neck, lengthen through the top of the head, and re-straighten the legs. So you feel like you're in a pranam, but you're going to hold the pranam. And it feels really engaged on all parts of your core. Even hard for me to breathe. And I feel a lot of work in my legs when I'm doing this. In fact, my legs are shaking. I'm working them so much to get that connection. I'm going to do 3 more breaths in that pranam position, feeling super strong and engaged in your core. And then after your next exhale, fold forward. You're still in Uttanasana, but you're folded a little deeper. You're not holding the pranam, but you can still feel long in your spine. Maybe grab your elbows if that feels right for you. And kind of just let yourself hang, but with that nice connected core that you have, you feel long in your spine. Maybe you can feel like you're extending through the top of your head. You might have to keep a bend in your knees. And then go ahead and bend your knees, release your hands, bring your hands to your thighs and come on up to standing. Feels nice, right? So feet are hip distance apart. Set up your spine. So remember we talked about how if you engage the core, then when you move the limbs, it feels much better. So I want you to notice, do I have a long side body, rib cage back? Maybe draw the head of the arm bones back a little. So you feel really safe in your core. And then when you lift your arms out to the side, it should feel pretty good, even if you have shoulder issues. So initiate that from the core, and then maybe start to make small circles. Broaden the clavicle. Reverse direction. Just see, can you get that strength to hold the arms there from your core, from all that work? Now we'll go forward again, but make bigger circles. Slowly start to get bigger and bigger. You'll know when you're at your max. Think core, 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 lengthen up through the top of the head. Good, reverse direction. Draw your low belly up. Keep lengthening, rib cage back. Good. And then reach the arms up, hook the thumbs, and draw everything up. Lift the pelvic floor, stretch up. Good. And I'm going to have you guys all turn inward. Actually, have your blocks with you just in case. And we're going to do something similar, but take a wide stance, not so wide, not as wide as you usually do in Prasarita. And then come on down, hands on the blocks. And just like you did before, I want you to set up your spine. So feel the weight in the middle of your feet. You might have to bend your knees to feel it. Sits bones back and apart, rib cage back, long back of neck, lengthen through the top of the head. See if you can still feel the sits bones back and apart. So you're in a pranam position here. It feels way different in your legs. You're not scooping the tailbone. You're just thinking really connected in the core. Lengthening. I feel a lot of work in my legs again. My legs are shaking. Feels better to me if I just keep a little baby bend in my knees. And then on your next exhale, just fold a little deeper. You can not use the blocks if you want to. You can grab your elbows if you have room. Not as deep as you can go. It's a connected long spine. You feel your legs still working, but yet you're allowing yourself to use gravity a little bit to lengthen. Good. And then come on up and bring your hands forward like down dog hands, but you're still grounded through all parts of your feet. And just reach your right hand through to the outside of your left shin and add in a little twist. So connected spine, connected core. Twist. And unwind and switch. Pull yourself under, just notice. And then come back to center, walk your hands back, bend your knees, come up to standing, and just like you did before, reach up, connect, just grab your thumbs and draw the pelvic floor up, lengthen up, feel like you're drawing everything inside you, up, 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 up. It's a lot of work. And then relax. Good. Step your feet a little bit closer. And this is not a graceful thing for me, but you're going to try to keep the connected core all around. And you're just going to shift the weight. Watch me first. So you'll shift your weight to one foot, touch the other foot in. So you're mostly balancing on that standing foot, and then do a little arc. So it looks like this, arc, but you're keeping the connected core. Okay, so everyone, shift your weight to your right foot, touch your left foot in, and arc. And then switch. The left foot steps out, right foot might touch in and arc. And keep going. I want you to feel that really connected core and length. One more each side. And then pause. Kind of fun. Grab your blocks, come to the front of your mats, and just bring the blocks on the outside of your feet. Go ahead and step your left foot back to a deep lunge. And take a moment to really feel that deep lunge. So from the standpoint of your core, think hips stay square, sits bones back and apart, really connected feet, rib cage back, long back of the neck, long through the top of the head. Good. Now keep that and come up to crescent. So feel like you're using your core to draw up, and then exhale, touch back down. So think core, core, core draws you up on the inhale. Exhale, touch back down. 3, use your core, stretch up. Exhale, touch down. 4, come on, you can do it. Draw up and touch down. Last time, 5, stretch up, crescent warrior, stay there, hands to heart center. See if you're still connected through all parts of your core. You're gonna slowly lower the back knee, but not all the way, and then use your core strength to lift back up. 2, you'll feel it in your glutes, but I want you to feel the core really working. 3, 4. Last time, almost touch down. 5, stretch up, stretch your arms up, and touch down. Step back, downward facing dog. Extend the left leg and step it through. Take a moment to really feel the deep lunge and feel your core. So the hips are square, rib cage is back, long back of neck, Feel how active your legs are, all parts of the feet. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift to crescent. I like to keep my heel lifted super high. Exhale, touch down, inhale. Use your core to lift. 2. Here comes 3. Use your breath, use your core. 4. Last time. Use your core strength to lift up, hands to heart center. You ready? Here comes the knee bend. Bend the knee. Lift with your core. 2. Hips stay square. Low belly up. 3. 4. 5. Stretch everything up. Stretch your arms up, crescent, and touch down. Step back, downward facing dog. And go ahead and lower your knees and take a child's pose for a moment. For a long moment. And then come on up to down dog on the blocks again. Make sure your blocks are where you want them. They feel stable. Set up your core. Come forward to plank and hold. Think broaden the clavicles and hold. Low belly's up. Sits bones are back. Rib cage is back. I don't so much have my shoulder blades on the back. I have them feeling really strong and stable. I'm lengthening through the top of my head. I have a long back of neck. I'm lengthening through my heels. Plank, plank, plank. Feels so stable and good. Good. Push back, down dog. Lower your knees for a moment. Get back on your heels. Anybody else sweating? I guess we're going to be sweating for a few days here. All good, Indian summer, right? Come forward to downward facing dog again. And then forward to plank. Just check. Where do I need to activate to? So not only are the abs working, the back's working, the side body is working. Nice long back of neck. Good. Lift the right foot up just an inch or two, and then just bring the knee in. You're not changing anything, and then extend it. I'm going to do that 10 times. So then extend. 3. Try not to let anything else in your plank change. Breathe. You guys are my advanced class. 10 and touch down. Lower your knees. Sit back, either child's pose or on your heels. So it's a plank. You really have to keep the side body super strong when you move that knee forward and back, right? So that nothing changes. Just checking your core. 2 more breaths. We'll go for the other side. If you need to touch the foot down and just hold in plank, feel free to do so. Good, come on up. Start in down dog. So it give yourself time to make sure your feet are in the right spot. Your sit bones are back, your rib cage is back, and then come forward to plank. Broadening, lengthening, staying stable. So left foot up 10 times. Bring the knee in and extend it back. Lengthen every time. So you really feel connected. I always have a baby bend in my knee that I'm in my right leg. I think that's 5. Am I right? You know, 6, 7, 8, 9, low belly up, 100. Good, touch down, down dog. Oh. Step your feet to your hands, forward fold. The moment. Rotate your blocks to the highest height, but right at the outside of your feet. And then come on up to standing. We're just gonna play a little more. Oh, sweating. But it feels so good though, doesn't it? Sweat. Good. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, fold forward, touch the blocks. Make sure your feet are at least hip distance apart. Step your right foot back far enough that you can ground the heel down and straighten your left leg. So this is Parsvottanasana. I want you to get that feeling of connection in your core first. So think, I really have my hips square. I have the sits bones stretching back and apart. I'm keeping the curve, but lifting my rib cage back, broadening my clavicle, drawing the low belly up, lengthening through the top of the head. Left heels in line with left hip, right heels in line with right hip. And then maybe I can fold a little deeper with all that connection. Notice. Good. And then use the blocks to push up through that pranam up to standing. You'll know right then and there if you're using your core enough. Bring your arms beside you, palms back. And I'm going to give you 2 options. You can hold the elbows like you did before, or you can try reverse namaste if you want to. Your shoulders have that flexibility and your wrists do. And then check your core again and maybe fold forward. Parsvottanasana. You're really engaging your core. It'll feel nice on your shoulders. If you're not, it's going to feel really bad. Couple more breaths. Good. Unwind your hands, touch the blocks, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, we're going to go for the other side. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the blocks. Inhale, left foot steps back. Take your time setting your spine, feeling that pranam, kind of a feeling in your core. Its bones are back, every right heel, right hip aligned, left heel, left hip aligned. My left toes are turned out slightly. Good. Just draw the low belly up, see if you can still feel the sits bones back, and then maybe fold a little deeper. And then come on up like through a pranam and come on up to standing. Check your core. You won't be able to come up if you don't have that connection. Add the arms wherever you're going there, either wrists. You can even interlace the hands and fold that way. Think, did I lose anything in my core when I did that? Because I'm really going to need it as I fold forward. I have to keep my legs super strong. Hips stay square. Fold forward. Feel all parts of your feet working. Arms are back, rib cage is back. Lengthening through the top of the head. On your next exhale, release your hands. Touch the blocks. Step forward. Inhale, pranam. Should feel really easy to do a pranam. Exhale, fold. And inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close your eyes for a moment. What did you learn from your body today? Maybe it's that you can do all these things when you're really old. Good. Release your hands. Go ahead and transition down to your backside. Feet grounded, hands behind knees. Lengthen. Feel your core. It automatically went there, didn't it? And we're going clear to boat pose, so Navasana. Lift your shins. You can extend your hands. Think of how you got that to stabilize last time, so it wasn't so much in your hip flexors. Bring both hands to the right side. Bring both hands to the left side. Bring both hands to the right side. Bring both hands to the left side. One more time. You can do it. And release. You can sit cross-legged for a moment. Yeah, it's happening. Good, just for fun. We're running out of time. Come to your a seated position with your feet back in Virasana on your block. Yeah, it's almost 10 o'clock. Press the toes down. It should feel super easy on the block, and I want it to. I want you to engage your core. And just like you did before, lift the arms out to the side from the strength of your core. And then just bend your right elbow, tap your chest a few times, and switch. There's a very therapeutic to do this tapping. You can think of yourself as Tarzan. Head and relax. And transition to your back. And you won't need your blocks anymore. And just hug your knees in, with your knees hugging in. You can roll side to side a little bit. I know, I see you. And then bring your feet flat and set up for Setu Bandha. So feet right underneath, hands by your hips, and then just like you've been training yourself, set your spine. So think the bones are back. I feel the glutes and tailbone grounded. I'm drawing the rib cage back. I'm drawing the low belly up. I'm lengthening. I feel my legs active. I'm lengthening through the top of the head. And then I'm going to lift to Setu Bandha on the inhale and exhale down 5 times like that. So every time, check your core before you lift and exhale down. 3, 4, and this last one, 5, hold. Maybe interlace your hands. Bye, Lisa. Have a great weekend. And just notice when you have your rib cage drawing back and everything really connected, see if you can lift your heart a little bit more, but keep that. It's a lot of work. Lengthen the back of your neck, lengthen through the top of your head. Good, and then release down. Hug your right knee in. Extend your left leg. Widen the knee towards the armpit a little bit. Just to feel that stretch. And then bring your right arm off to the side and bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Try and encourage a curve to stay in the low back and lift to your left hip and let the right knee come across. Right shoulder stays down. I like to hook my toes behind my left knee. It just feels more stable for me. Couple breaths. And then unwind and we'll switch sides. So you're just gonna hug your left knee in, extend the right leg, activate the core so you feel the curve, feel length, maybe broaden the knee to the left a little bit just to loosen things up. And then left arm comes off to the side, right hand comes to the outside of the left knee. You can hook your toes if you want and roll to your right hip. Left shoulder attempts to stay down. Kind of loosens up some of those core muscles that we have been working so hard. And then unwind, bring the knees up, bring the feet wide on the mat, arms to cactus, if you will. You don't have to, but, and then just let both knees drop to the right and hold there. So it's windshield wiper, but you're holding. Allow everything to lengthen back out. Take deep breaths down, deep into your belly, your back body, side body. And then knees come up and over to the left side. and unwind and stretch out for Shavasana. Noticing your breath again. Relax all those muscles in the core, your abdominals, your back muscles, your side, interstitial rib muscles, all of that. Let it go to exhale. Relax the roof of your mouth. Relax your eyeballs. Just let them rest in the sockets. Relax the bottoms of your feet, soles of your feet. As you continue to rest, I wanted to share a paragraph from the book Love is Letting Go of Fear by Gerald Jampolsky, MD. And to me, it kind of summarizes what all of the lessons I've been given try to teach me. And so to share it with you. Let us consistently choose the single goal of peace rather than multiple goals that lead to conflict. Let us continue to practice forgiveness and to see each other and ourselves as blameless. Let us look lovingly upon the present, for it holds only knowledge that is forever true. Let us continue to be involved in a process of personal transformation, which we are only concerned about giving and not about getting. Let us recognize that we are united as one self and illuminate the world with the light of love that shines through us. Let us awaken to the knowledge that the essence of our being is love, and as such, we are the light of the world. Begin to notice your breath again. Encourage your lungs to open up so that you can take a little bit deeper breath. You don't force it, you just say lungs able to receive a little bit deeper breath and release it completely. And start to wiggle small ways. When you're ready, you can draw knees in towards your chest. Roll to the right side. Just take your time, pressing up to a seated position when you're ready. If you're at home, you can stay in Shavasana forever if you'd like. I always feel like I learn so much more from all of you guys than you do from me. I believe that's so true. Bring hands to heart center. Namaste. Have a fabulous weekend, everybody. Friday already. It did. Thanks, you guys, for being with me.
Thanks, Lisa. Have a good weekend.
You're welcome. You too. Bye now.
Thanks, Drill Sergeant. Good class. How do you talk and do that at the same time? I'm just amazed.
I don't know. Sometimes it's hard.